Good morning, guys and girls. Welcome to another video. As you can see, we got some brisket on the smoker today. I'm really looking forward to that one. I just got the point. Didn't do a full brisket, just the point, because I mean it's just me and my wife. How much brisket can we possibly eat, right? But yeah, we're really looking forward to that. We got a Turbo 400 build going on here. Let me kind of show you what we got going on. This is the case out of the S10. All right. So when I went to pull this thing apart, the original reason we wanted to pull it apart was because we were having second gear issues, which was the sprag. But when I went to pull the center support bolt out, I broke the case. So the center support bolt was stripped in the case. So like, what the heck's, right? So when I had the socket on here to turn it loose, it turned loose real easy because it obviously just slipped right over because there's almost no teeth to grab onto. And when that happened, I guess the socket tilted up and I clipped the case and it broke that chunk out. Really didn't think I hit it that hard that it could break that case, but whatever, it's broken. So I have to get a different case. Well, my father-in-law, his Chevelle, he's got a 68 Chevelle where that big block Chevy went into. When somehow with installing this transmission, the case broke or was broken or something. It was a little bit funny, whatever happened there. And yeah, it's a pretty good crack, as you can see, all the way around. I don't know if this is going to be salvageable or not, because this side, the crack comes down pretty far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut this off the rest of the way, and we'll see if it's salvageable. If it is, we're going to continue prepping this thing, and we will try to use it. Alright, so because of the way this thing had cracked all the way around, it went a little deep, so it looks like a bit of a hack job. Other than that, I think it's going to work. So I got it cut. I basically mimicked this case here, how it was cut. As you can see, like, this rail is almost flush with this one, like they're almost the same. This one's a little bit lower actually. So basically I tried to do the same thing here, except for the fact that it was cracked past that in a bunch of places. Now the biggest downside to this is appearance. When you got your Ultra Bell sitting on here, you know, like, that's going to be kind of your gap that you're going to see. So you're going to have all this ugly sticking out, right? So that's going to be the biggest downside to it, is the appearance of it. And yeah, at this point she's filthy. I'd probably clean up these edges a little bit more yet. You know, it's not quite smooth or finessed yet, but might touch it up a little bit. And then I will strip down some more of this stuff, get some of this out of here, the shifter linkage or whatever, and then I'm going to take this case to the car wash and I'm going to blast this sucker through every last orifice it has and clean all this garbage out of here. I'm also going to knock out that rear case bearing or bushing as well, and then we'll get this thing nice and clean. And yes, there's engines and stuff going on in the background, but everything in here is raw. It all needs to be washed. That's why I cut this thing with everything exposed, because whatever, it all has to be washed anyways, in case you guys are wondering. All right, we got this thing back from the car wash. She is clean, all blowing out. Blew out all the orifices, blew out all the threaded holes everywhere, so that way we're not going to hydrolock anything later on. Got it all washed, nice and clean everywhere, and I got soaking wet. Of course, right? I know I got a lot of background noise going on here. Sorry about that. Hopefully it's not too loud. But let's take a look at what we all got going on here. We got our center support snap ring, we got our intermediate snap ring, we got our bushings. We got Wesley's shirt that I accidentally ordered too big. My bad, dude, my bad. We got our intermediate band, which we're not actually going to end up using. We're going to actually run no... Let's turn that off. Shoot, why not? Let's turn that off too. We're not going to use the intermediate band because we actually have no downshifting or anything in this trans. So we are going to be able to leave this completely empty and omit that band altogether. And then we got our reverse band. So that's nice. We got our 34 element spray. We got our direct and forward clutches. We got our steels. There's even a wave one in there, looks like. And then we have our intermediate clutches. We got the 4 intermediate clutches going in and the steels for that. We got our new filter. What else we got? Flip that around. And we got all of our seals, our lip seals, pump seal gaskets, and output shaft, input shaft seals there. We got some O-rings for the pump housing. So I think we got everything we need here. We also got kind of our parts laid out over here, but we also have our 210, 140 gear set change that we're going to do. So we are going to change out those planetories. I've never done that before, so it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. But I mean, really, how hard can it be? Test fit it, check for clearances, make sure your end plays are right. You're good, right? We'll find out. So I'm going to get this ball rolling. I'm going to start with getting that the output shaft bushing in there. I don't know what I'm going to say, but we're just going to wing it. Hi. Oh, this sucks.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel.
As he said, no, I'm just kidding. We're ready past the intro. Like we're deep into this video already. But I got the bushings ready, and I was gonna hammer the bushing into that case when we got to thinking we should double check that crack. Distractions in the shop, I guess, hey? That crack in here, we wanted to make sure, I don't know, can we see it? There, you can see it. See it run along here. So we wanted to make sure it wasn't going to leak out there. We weren't sure if there was any kind of hairline crack in here that we couldn't see, so we filled this up with tranning fluid and let it soak for a while, and then I actually heated this area up with a torch to about 180 degrees to see if anything would seep out, and nothing did. So it was dry. So as far as that goes, we're good to go. But we discovered something else. If you look in the bell housing area or the pump area, you'll see that this is actually an 8-bolt case for the pump. The pump is 8-bolt. This case is only a 6-bolt. So I overlooked that. Needless to say, we cannot use that. So brother-in-law has another Turbo 400, which appears to actually be an 8-bolt. This guy. He's gonna punch me yet. Not this guy, this guy. So this is actually an 8-bolt. So we're gonna tear this thing down and we'll see what this one looks like. Okay guys, it's a new day plus a few. Been a little bit now, but we got that other case torn apart, the other transmission torn apart, and that is on the stand now. And I got it cut and cleaned and painted, and this one's ready now. There was another difference that I did notice, other than this being a 6-bolt. There was also a missing lug section right here, so a little bit less support. The new case, as you can see, has it in here, so we're good there. We're gonna go ahead now and get the bushing installed. I got my cam bearing tool out. I got the bushing on here. I'm going to put a little Loctite around there. I'm going to go ahead and hammer it in. All right, so I do have that bushing in. What I actually ended up doing was I used the bearing driver to get it started, and then I used a washer from one of these older cases that was at the back. Not the one, I mean, the one we are going to set up is going to have a roller, but we just used one of these flat ones from one of the cores, put it in there, seated it down, and then I just used a bushing driver, put it on top, and I just hammered it in the rest of the way, just so it would be even, that distance. So we are all good there now. So that's perfect. So it is sticking out just a little bit, just under 100 thousandths of an inch or so. And that's going to help seat the bearing and just kind of keep it from walking around. So in case you guys are curious about the difference, what it looks like anyways with a 210 140 gear set, this is what we got here. The lower unit, we got 5 spines in there, 5 sprockets. These are all, interestingly enough, splined the opposite way to what the factory is. This guy here has got 4, same as the old stuff, but it, let's turn that off again. Crazy heater. But it's a whole lot wider, and you'll see why right here. So this guy here is actually 2-piece, and this guy will sit in there, and then your lower unit is going to sit in that side. So definitely a whole lot different than what the factory setup is. Like, this is your factory deal. So way narrower, both the same size and together, 1-piece, not 2-piece. And as you can see, there's only 4 in there, that side as well, on the lower side. So definitely looks a whole lot different than the factory stuff. So I'm just gonna play around here. I'm gonna get this end play right, and just kind of test fit everything and see how everything works.